It's been a really long night, but, now that I've finished dancing with the devil at the pale blue moonlight, I don't have to do that anymore. But it seems we are going to start punching crime in the face. This is Arkham Twin Days. Hi there, viewers. I am Leo Wolverine, your game commentator and founding member of Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. As I'm going to talk about another topic, so I know this is kind of a sudden, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me. So this is about the other two movies of Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, which is not as good as you think it is, but BTS fares way better, like, you know, Batman the Animated Series. You know, BTAS, Batman the Animated Series. Okay. And so, okay, as much as you guys want to know, since Michael Keaton was not able going to return in the third and fourth movies, he only done 2 movies. Batman of 1989 and the second movie that never showed Harvey Dent of Billy D. Williams at all, like he never existed. There are no posters of Harvey Dent in the Batman universe of Tim Burton's film. Nothing. Zilch. Nada. It's gone forever. Like it vanished. Like it never existed. Like this is a sort of another Batman universe that I've never even seen before. So yeah. How am I gonna cope with this? Oh yes, I should run, cry, and have an embarrassing accident. No, that doesn't work. That never works! Because it will not. Okay, so, I know nobody wants to talk about Schumacher's film, but I'm gonna do it anyways, but, I don't want to talk about it too much because of spoilers! It doesn't work that way! So, yeah. It doesn't work. So, yes. Okay. I know it, let's see, one of Schumacher's films, at least one of the actors remain, who is a British actor, but he is from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I thought he was from Great Britain, but I know he has that British accent, if you want to know, but he is from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I don't know the actor's name, however, sadly, he passed away. But he was like a great actor who plays as Alfred very much. Even though the movie is terrible on the other two, which started with Val Kilmer and not to mention, oh yeah, Chris O'Donnell, who actually won the role of playing Robin. I was about to say Batman, no, Robin. However, there were 2 actors that one of the actors actually came close, besides Chris O'Donnell, and his name is Christian Bale, if you happen to notice, the one who was going to play as Robin, but instead, it's not gonna happen. He was this close to play as Robin, but I guess that did not happen, I suppose. It was awfully close. But, you know, Chris O'Donnell got the long end of the straw, while Christian Bale had to wait like possibly close to a decade, I suppose. So I'm guessing he was like, I don't know, possibly in his 19 or late 19. He was either 19 or early 19 years old, or possibly in his early 20s. I'm pretty sure. And oh my gosh, Schumacher's films, of course, you hear Batman saying about takeout orders. He says, "I'm taking drive-through." Of course, Val Kilmer, even though he is an actor, of course, usually he is not one of the I don't know, perhaps not the nicest people, perhaps. But that's just my opinion, of course, according to K-Wing. Oh boy. Yes, the roles of Two-Face, the role of Two-Face was happened, which is the actor Tommy Lee Jones, who happened to kind of played Harvey Dent way out of control, if you want to know. So it wasn't based like, okay, so he almost kind of like he did the Joker thing, like Jack Nicholson does his own Joker. I can do whatever I want. I'm the Joker. I can do playing card tricks or shake hands and do the joy buzzer any way I would like. Worst terrible Jack Nicholson impersonator ever I am. Tommy Lee Jones, he kind of did the same thing like Jack Nicholson would do, only he just does like a little crazier. I don't no idea why he did that, because that was his idea, I'm guessing, so he might have followed the suit of Jack Nicholson's Joker, but this is just me. Oh my. It's just very interesting to know about what to gather insight beyond sight. No, I'm not Thundercats. Oh my gosh. It's just pretty fun. I mean, even though Schumacher's film, like Batman and Robin, Chris O'Donnell returns. Of course, Val Kilmer will not return from Batman Forever, even though he only has done one movie of Batman Forever. Even though he is an actor, he's not kind of nice. Of course, George Clooney is a lot more nicer than Val Kilmer was, even though George Clooney admits he kind of wants to play the role of Batman. However, he kind of sounds more like George Clooney instead of Batman. Because that's just me, of course. It's just, how did George Clooney say it would sound like? I'm Batman. Look at me. I just sound like a normal Bruce Wayne. I'm Batman. I'm just normal George Clooney. I'm not taking the wimpy route from Batman the Telltales. It's just, oh my gosh. It's just, I get the point. So, yeah, even though the best out of those two movies who had a little bit more of character development, I would say, oh boy. Okay, the Riddler who plays it, the person who plays his Riddler is none other than the Canadian actor. Yes, he is Canadian. Of course, it's none other than Jim Carrey. So, yay. Jim Carrey, the funny guy who voices Horton from Dr. Seuss's Horton Hears a Who, and the live action show of the movie called The Grinch. It was done very well. Don't like beating. Of course, he's always like the puzzle solver. Very, very much. He's just absolutely fantastic. Of course, he does of course, even though the Batman shows are more of a kind of comedic instead of a dark, of course, the Michael Keaton movies is a little bit more better than the Michael Keaton movies, of course. Michael Keaton with Jack Nicholson, and then Michelle Pfeiffer came on in the second movie. Of course, they were actually dating at the time before the second movie was released, if you want to know, and it's pretty interesting. Yeah, it is very interesting. Haha. even though while going out on dates, and you couldn't want to date the star who wants to play as Vicky Vale. It's just, no, I'm dating her, which is too weird. If you put her in the movie, it is too weird. It's like I'm dating my own newspaper woman who is not Catwoman, even though she's in the second movie. I do believe it is correct. She's in the second movie, and she's done pretty awesome. And how she voices and how she screams like a girl, like really well. And instead of Vicky screams, then of Kim Basinger, she screams the loudest. Even though she was dumped by kitty litter, she didn't get dumped. She didn't scream, although she got her suit torn off, even though on a flower garden. And yes, she screams because she got snapped, because her sanity got snapped because of Mr. Shrek. Yeah, because she overheard about the plot twist of Mr. Shrek, because he's pushing her off the ledge, and immediately her insanity she loses it completely, like lost it, like she can't stand it anymore. She wants Shrek to lose, like, completely. It is just absolutely diabolical, because of what happens is just beyond amazing. She kinda, well, you know, Selena Kyle tore up the room. It's on the second movie of Batman, of course, Schumacher's film about the Joker and, no, not Joker, I mean Two-Face. Sorry, Two-Face and the Riddler. Even though the one character who had more character development, I would say, is Robin. Yeah, Robin, definitely. Robin would have the more character development on that one of Schumacher's films, and not to mention the Batman and Robin movie. Of course, the fourth movie of Batman and Robin, even though it's comedic like the third movie of Batman Forever, it was not what I anticipated for it. No, it just, of course, Barbara, I don't know, I mean, I don't mind seeing her the name Barbara, and she's not related to the name of Gordon, because Barbara just named Barbara. What is her last name on the fourth movie of Batman and Robin? Of course, Alicia Silverstone does pretty well. I couldn't understand why, even though it's just her name is Barbara, but not the last name, I suppose. It just doesn't work that way, because it just shows continuity of the name, of the last name. I mean, no last name has continuity with Barbara. The first name of Barbara just shows you, doesn't show the last name, who's related to Alfred. She calls her Uncle Alfred. Oh, Alfred has a niece. The niece's name is Barbara. Jim Gordon's daughter's name is Barbara. His wife's name is Barbara. Of course, it's kind of foretelling about a parody a bit. I'm in a time climax paradox. Or kind of an anticlimax of whose name belongs to. It's just so twisted. I don't know. It's gone to show you that it's just. Oh my gosh! The fourth movie of Batman is just so messed up. I don't understand. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who plays as Victor Freeze, even though surviving temperatures at sub-zero, he's definitely good to go. However, even though he plays as the out-of-control Mr. Freeze, I couldn't quite possibly understand. However, there is the 2004 series of the Batman. of course, Mr. Freeze is a bank robber, which shows to some universes that Mr. Freeze is a scientist, and he's a bank robber because he needed diamonds, of course. And I'm guessing why they kind of followed suit back then of that fourth movie that's not as good as it is because of, based on one of Schumacher's films. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, Val Kilmer did such a fantastic job. He has to says, Harvey, I'm Batman! And even though I failed to save you, yeah, so I'm sorry if I failed to save you during the time of court, so my bad. So anyways, how can I save you, Harvey, from the time when your face kind of burned off with acid? Tell that to Robert Maroney, even though Robert Maroney on that Dark Knight trilogy movies didn't splash acid on Harvey Dent, who is the district attorney, which is good. On the third movie he did. On the second movie of the Dark Knight trilogy movies of Christopher Nolan, he did not, which is good news. But on the third movie of Schumacher's films, he did. The Dark Knight trilogy movies, no. Which I'm gonna savor some of the juicy stuff if that were possible. And oh my, if you guys actually kind of love the third movie of Batman Forever, even though it's kind of not as good as the first and second movies. Of course, the first and second movies of Michael Keaton were way better than the third and fourth movies they had with Val Kilmer, who's on the third, and George Clooney on the fourth. Poison Ivy, who is, you know, being played, playing one person. The actors who plays Poison Ivy has happened to be Uma Thurman. Yes. She had like more character. Yeah, she had a lot more character growth on that fourth movie of Batman and Robin, which she's actually like the best villainess or villain. Yeah, is villainous is a word, not villainous or villainess. I said N-E-S-S, not S-I-O-U-S. Okay. So please forgive me of the translation because I'm trying to pronounce it correctly. This one's for you, Ivy, because you are so beautiful in the gardens. I promise to take care of your plants. And yes, I'll water them and feed them, and we shall take over the world! I think. With Ivy. Spreading plants of love of the natural environments of the ecosystem. Eco-friendly only. So, get rid of the garbage and the plastic bottles so we can recycle them, and then we do this all over again. But, you know, the kind of idea that Ivy was Dr. Pamela Isaac, she wanted to save the environment, of course. Of course, there was the other character whose name is, I'm not going to reveal it to you because this is a quiz, because I know Bane's real name on the fourth movie of Batman and Robin. You, come on, nobody knows Bane's real name, of course, really. Everybody calls him Bane. That's his code name. Of course, he has the formula Venom in him. But nobody knows his real name. You know, for example, this superhero's real name is Isaac. This superhero's real name is Jacob. This superhero's real name is Johnny. You know that. You know, the ones who hide behind the mask, the names. Besides the name Bane, because everybody think Bane's his real name. No, I know that's his name, but that's his code name, for crying out loud. His real name is Not gonna reveal it to you because you're gonna have to guess, or you'll have to answer to me by telling you what is Bane's real name. Because watch the 4th movie of Batman and Robin, which is terrible, even though it's kind of good. But I like some of the aspects of the movie. Of course, the best character growth is Poison Ivy, and not to mention Robin. Chris O'Donnell, he did a really fantastic job. Of course, George Clooney kind of tries his best to play as Batman, but wasn't, even though he did his best. Although the thought that counts is good, which is right, that could actually work. Even though that is an epic fail ski. And, my gosh, oh boy, even though Mr. Free, the ones that are completely out of control characters of villains is the Riddler, Two-Face, and Mr. Freeze. Those are the ones who kind of playing like, do this, and they kind of had no, I'm not sure if they had the right idea, or they kind of had no idea how to portray as, what do villains do when they do themselves on trying to, I don't know, when bad guys try to steal money, or when they're trying to come up with plots and twists and plans. The best kind of character growth, I would say, is the Joker and Poison Ivy. They have them, especially the character growth would be Michael Keaton's Batman and Chris O'Donnell's Robin. Oh yes, the character growth, the non-superheroes, it would be Commissioner Jim Gordon. Yeah, he had like the best character growth I've ever seen. So definitely that can actually work and do that advantage. The actor who played as Commissioner Gordon did a really nice job. And also the best character growth, which would be Harvey Dent, played by Billy D. Williams. We did a fantastic job, even though the Schumacher films of Batman Forever, and even though, or is it Batman and Robin? It is kind of, let's say, use your imagination for what I'm about to say, okay? So, yeah, why don't you guys use your imagination for what I'm about to tell you, and that's the end of it, okay? So, yeah, TTFN, ta-ta for now. But, alright, and, oh boy. And, you know, out of the best movies, I would say Batman and Batman Returns out far way better. I mean, besides the Dark Knight trilogy movies, I know they're great, but this is what we're talking about, are the movies back in 1989 to the 1990s. Of course, we cannot go back to the 90s because China owns the 90s and they will not take it back, and they will not give it back. So, China owns the 90s, including the pause. I drowned. So, yes, I mean, not very many people may remember the 90s movies of Batman Returns. Of course, I seen the movie of Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, which kind of not as good. Which are not as good, okay? It's just, I'm sorry because it doesn't work on my taste, if you want to know, so... No. So, yeah. So, the best character growths of Michael Keaton's Batman, Uma Thurman's Pamela Isley, who plays as Poison Ivy, did so well, and Chris O'Donnell, he did pretty good. He's not too bad as the third Robin. He did pretty good. However, Christian Bale came so close to portray as the first Robin, even though that Jason Todd was supposed to be the first Robin. It kind of did not happen because the story of Jason Todd might be kind of dark. So even though that Tim Burton admits he would not say about he didn't read the comic books, who doesn't know, even though he doesn't know much about Batman, which he admits, I tell you. And yes, even though Michael Keaton is a fan of Superman, even though dressed up as a giant bat who's using that fear because of being afraid of being in the suit. Shots fired! Especially even though I'm a fan of Batman, but also a fan of Superman as well. So, shots fired again! Non-lethal weapons shooting the rubber bullets out of the bat tank. If you want to know, so, and crushing, but, well, at least we could to crushing rocks and do some well gardening, so I'll take that advantage. Please forgive me. And I do believe that should be the end of the movie of the 1990 movies of Batman, of the info, even though. And please leave a comment section below and tell me what do you guys think of Arkham Twin Days. You like it or hate it, and mash that like button if you guys love Arkham Twin Days like this one. And especially, and plus, leave a comment section below, and if you guys want to know Bane's real name. Okay, because I'm kind of getting tired of hearing the name. It's Bane, it's Bane. Of course it's Bane, but you want to know what his real name is? His real name, besides the name Bane, of course the name is Bane, but his real name is, not going to reveal it to you in this episode. Sorry! But you'll have to ask me later in secret. So for anyways, this is Leo Wolverine saying and speaking as always, as your sensational special being who takes chances, makes mistakes, and get messy. And Leos, let's play the Lions. Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. See you guys next time for more of Arkham Twin Days.